What's up, y'all? Today I'm talking about my first Daniel's fast experience and testimony, man, of 2024. Talking about the temptations that I had and my daily routine today. Well, I'm gonna try to remember the best I can because, as you can see, it's March now, and most people started the Daniel fast in January, right? And that's another thing, right? I'm doing this late. I already had this plan to do this about a month ago when I finished my Daniel fast, which was like the mid of February, right? And I haven't been posting videos for the last month because I've been so busy with school, with work, with my daughter, with church, with life groups, with events, with other things that I've been doing, man. And I just haven't had the time. But I gotta make this video because I said I was gonna make it. I had it set up to make it. I may not remember everything that I can remember. But y'all, man, I did the Daniel fast for the first time. Let me tell y'all how this started, right? So I have been thinking about doing it last year, but you know, in January, most churches start the Daniel fast in January, right? And they go for 21 days. Now, my church, I think, started like January 6th, January 7th. And I was like, man, I'm not doing no Daniel fast. What I look like? But I had been praying to God about discipline. I've been praying to God like discipline because I needed to get more discipline on everything, right? I have a lot of discipline in other areas. Like I read my Bible every single day, twice a day, morning and night. I pray every single day. What else? There's some other things that I do, right? That's disciplined every single day. But, however, I wanted to be more disciplined just in general. I wanted to be more disciplined in going to the gym, wanted to be more disciplined in the food that I ate. I wanted to be more disciplined in just restraining myself in so many areas. That's another thing. I'm disciplined in not having sex. Disciplined in not having sex. Of course, I got weaknesses in every area. We all got weaknesses, right? But I wanted to be more disciplined, and I had said, yo, I'm not doing the Daniel fast. Like, that's going to be too hard. How am I not going to eat meat and do all of this? What? But then, you know, it's crazy. I went to church. I think it was right before the Daniel fast, or I think it was the week after they started the Daniel fast in my church. And I had been praying to God about having more discipline, more discipline. What's funny is I went to church, and guess what he was talking about? Discipline. I was like, oh my God, come on, man. Like, so you telling me you want me to do this, huh? Right? Because actually he was talking about the Daniel fast as well. So I was just like, all right, oh my God, right? I was just trying to reject it, right? I was trying to reject the whole thing to the Daniel fast because of how long it is and because you can't eat meat. I'm over here thinking like I'm gonna pass out if I do this Daniel fast. But then he had the sermon, my pastor talked about the sermon with discipline and all this other stuff. And I was like, all right, God, I'm gonna do it, man. Now, a lot of my friends at the church had already started. And I just told myself, all right, I'm gonna start the next week. So I can't remember what day it was. It might've been like January 16, 17, whatever Monday that was. And I finally started the Daniel fast. I felt like, I ain't even gonna lie, I was scared to start, but I had prepped. One of my friends said that they was gonna do it with me, and they wasn't planning on doing it this year because they usually do it with the church. And it was just like, I'm not doing it. But then when I said, yo, I'm gonna do it, they was like, all right, I'm gonna do it too. Cause I guess they wanted to help me and they just wanted to be an accountability partner. So started a Daniel fast, and man, that was crazy. Actually, I wrote like 2 days of notes. So let me go to the notes real quick. So I had planned to like do a Daniel fast tracker, like a daily tracker, right? I was like, man, I'm about to write this down every day. First day I said, day one was hard. Food didn't taste all that good. Head felt lightheaded a little bit. Went to Bible study and then came home, didn't eat as much. Yeah, I remember that day. I was feeling real lightheaded, but I didn't eat as much because I went to the Bible study that day. Hold up, we had Bible study that day? So that must have been like on a Wednesday or something. I can't remember. Was it a Wednesday? No. I can't remember what day that was. But I guess I went to Bible study that day, and I remember I was feeling real lightheaded that day. But I was thinking that was because, you know, you can't eat no sugar. I had to start looking in the back of everything and seeing if added sugar was in everything. And I had just been eating a bunch of sugar. So I guess, that was trying to be removed, or my body wasn't used to it. I don't know, right? It was the first day and I wasn't eating meat. So that's it too, I guess, right? I was feeling lightheaded because I wasn't eating meat. That was definitely it. Day 2, I said, the food is tasting better. A little lightheaded, possibly because of me not being used to eating like this, and I was busy. So I also probably didn't eat it how I should, but I'm holding on and the food is coming on me. That's all I got. I got day 3 on here, but I didn't get to day 3, right? I want y'all to understand, I guess I started to struggle during that time, man. The Daniel fast was being hard. And let me also mention that before I started the Daniel fast, I had wrote down a list of foods because I didn't know. And I also ordered a book to help me with the Daniel fast, but that book didn't come until my last week of the Daniel fast. So I didn't get to use it. So next year, I'm gonna probably make another video, but I'm gonna also use that book to help me during the Daniel fast. Let me tell you about some of the food items that I wrote down to buy for the Daniel fast. So I wrote down cauliflower rice, spaghetti squash, roasted veggies like broccoli, mushroom, zucchini. I wrote down hummus. I wrote down tofu. I didn't even eat no tofu, but I don't know. Somebody told me it tasted spongy. So every time I seen it, I was like, man, I'm not eating that. One of my friends told me to get some pita chips. I got some guacamole. I had some tortillas. I was drinking smoothies. I got almond butter. Obviously, I had fruit, water, veggies, and all of that, right? I also started to buy cold pressed juices. That was another thing I kept doing during the fast. I would go to Wegmans. I wasn't pressing the juice. I would go to Wegmans and buy the cold pressed juices because they had all those juices. They had, the veggie juices, the fruit juices, and they had one that tasted exactly like juice. Obviously it's juice, right? But tasted like regular juice, but it was pressed strawberry and apple juice. And that tasted like regular juice, but it was just apple juice and strawberries. So I felt like I was cheating. What else I tried? I tried some some vegan food during that time, and that was horrible. I can't even lie. Oh my God, man. What is it? I was eating I tried a veggie burger. I was trying everything during this fast, y'all. I don't think y'all know. And I was struggling so bad. Not struggling, extremely tempted to eat outside of the fast, but I was struggling with just eating the food because sometimes I would be like, oh, that tastes horrible, man. I'm not even eating that. You know what I'm saying? So that Daniel's fast was a challenge for me. And again, this is my first time doing it. It was a challenge. What else? Here's some other things that I did, which is actually my daily routine, which I actually told y'all, which is I prayed every single morning, every single night throughout the day. And even though I already did that, my prayers were changing because I'm doing this fast. So I'm like, God, please help me get through this fast. Lord, please help me find something different to eat, God. Please allow me to like it, God. Please change my taste buds. Lord God, I was asking God to change my taste buds so that I can continue to like this food, right? So that I can like it. What else? I was praying. I was reading my Bible verses. I also chose to do a Daniel's fast Bible plan that was 21 days exactly. So every single day that I'm in the fast, I am being encouraged. I'm getting a devotional in. I'm learning more about the fast and what it does, my relationship with God. I'm getting a lot of confirmations during this fast. It was a lot going on. But one other thing that was extremely hard for me, I thought it was going to be hard for me, is during this fast, I also had a trip to go on to DC for my people's birthday. And I have been reading and watching videos, and the people in the videos was like, it's best to not do much, not go that many places, or it's going to be really hard for you on this fast. So now I'm over here man, I don't want to go on the fast. They going to be eating all this food. We going to go to restaurants. I'm gonna be so tempted. I don't wanna fall. Like y'all, my mind was going boof before I even went. I'm over here praying like, Lord, please. Matter of fact, that's what I did. I prayed. I said, God, please help me when I go to DC. Like, please provide for me so that I can keep doing this fast. I was over there thinking, I'm about to get some food. I'm about to get bags of food, all my, snacks and stuff, my healthy snacks and stuff, and get fruit and all of that while I'm out there. I was like, I'm going to the grocery store while I'm out there. I'm going to put this stuff in the fridge and everything. I had already planned what I was going to do. And I also was telling myself ahead of time when people are eating in front of me that I'm not going to be tempted at all. I'm not going to want none of their food. And I also planned to not tell them that I was fasting, right? Because the Bible, Jesus tells us not to tell people that you're fasting when you're fasting. Right now, obviously, I was doing it with the church as well. So the people at the church knew. They already knew it because we was doing it already. But the people that didn't know, the people who were not fasting, I didn't tell them. And God tells us not to tell those people, right? So while I'm in DC on the trip, I'm just like, people asking me like, why you not eating this, or you want some of this? And I'm like, nah. And we going out to eat, and I'm like, oh, I gotta eat this. I just was telling them that I'm eating healthy and I'm trying to discipline myself, right? Which is true, but I just couldn't tell them that I was on a Daniel fast. And you know what? Some of them did ask me, you on a Daniel fast? And I'm like, I'm just eating healthy. Like, I'm just being disciplined, right? And what's funny? One of my friends was like, oh, you making me feel bad. You making me feel like I gotta eat healthy, right? It was like, I feel bad about what I'm eating. So the first day that I got to DC and we ate at some restaurant, let me tell y'all what I had. They had like chicken and shrimp and all this other stuff. I had the menu for me for vegan food was a bowl of brown rice with some collard greens and no. Actually, the bowl was white rice, some collard greens, what else? It was some sweet potatoes and some type of brown sugar glaze. Now, obviously, you can't eat white rice on this Daniel fast. So I was like, do y'all got brown rice? And it was like, no, we don't got brown rice. I'm like, how y'all don't got no brown rice? So I had to say, like, give me the collard greens and sweet potatoes. And it was like, you don't want the glaze? I was like, it got sugar in it. Nah, I can't eat it. So my first meal there, while they eating shrimp and crab and chicken and all this other stuff, right? I'm over there eating a bowl of collard greens with sweet potatoes. And those collard greens were so strong, I couldn't even eat all of it. I can't even lie to you. I couldn't eat all of it. So what I started to do too is I would smell their food and I was like, okay, I'm good. Cause I got to smell it, right? I was like, Lord, am I cheating? Cause I'm like being fleshy with the food, right? But what else, man? Here's how God blessed me during that trip though. I want to keep it real with y'all. Let me tell y'all how God blessed me during that trip. So before I came on the trip, I went to Chopped. Chopped is a real healthy salad type place, right? They sell salads, they sell all that healthy stuff, right? You can make your bowl, you get all the healthy food you want. So I had got that while I was at work before I went up there. And I also went to Kava. If y'all know what Kava is a healthy place too, where you could do bowls with healthy food. So I would get Kava and Chopped on some of the days that I didn't want to make nothing or whatever it was, right? Guess what? When I went to DC and I went to the hotel with my brother, then the first day I didn't notice this, but the second day when I went outside and I went looking for food, went looking for some healthy places, you know what was right next to the hotel? When I tell you right next to the hotel, they was right next to the hotel. I should have took a video or a picture or something. When I walked outside, cause we was in the city next to the baseball stadium. As soon as I walked outside, it was like restaurants that's connected to the building outside, and Chopped was one of them. Chopped was one, and what's that other restaurant? I forgot the other restaurant. It's like a Mexican restaurant that a lot of people eat. I don't really eat it, but it's like a Mexican restaurant where you can make your bowl. I know y'all know the name of it, whatever. Chipotle, that's it. Chipotle was right there. So it was Chopped and Chipotle right there. Like right next to the hotel. You get what I'm saying? Do y'all understand? Remember, I prayed and asked God to help me when I get there. How is it that Chopped that I had been going to that's real healthy, and obviously Chipotle, you can eat some healthy food, but I didn't really like Chipotle anyway. But Chopped was right there. So now I'm like, all right, I'm tired of Chopped. What about Cava? Where's Cava? I look online and Cava is on the exact next street. So the hotel right here, right? I walk across the street, Cava right there. How is it that God blessed me to have these places right here next to me, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, God blessed me during this fast, y'all. So anyway, during the fast, I have been learning, like, you give up a lot, God will give you a lot. You get what I'm saying? He'll always be there. He'll always provide. He did so much for me during that fast. He allowed me to see that I can restrain myself in areas where I think I can't when it comes to food. Because again, I never did this Daniel fast. And he was just showing up in so many other ways that I can't actually remember right now because it's been a while since I did the fast. But, God was with me during that whole time. I also was a little tempted, y'all, because my friends and them was making cookies, baking cookies and all of that when we was all together. And I wanted some cookies. I ain't eat no cookies, but I wanted them. So I just took the smell in and I just denied everything, right? So here's another thing. Matter of fact, we went to the African American Museum and we was about to go somewhere, some honey chicken place. And my brother knew about some other place. I forgot the name of it, but it was a vegan place. I was like, yes, Lord, thank you, God. We get to the vegan place. I get me a vegan pasta. They got the vegan pasta. I'm like, yes. So just so y'all know, man, during that whole trip, I was able to eat healthy. I didn't go over the fast. Now, I did kind of think that I was, but because some of the stuff that I was eating, I'm looking at the ingredients. I'm like, okay, that don't have milk in it, right? But I was a little confused or whatever. But I'm like, Lord, if this is right, then I'm good. But Lord, forgive me if it's wrong. Forgive me if it does have that in it, because I'm looking at the ingredients and it says it don't have it in there. But I'm looking at what it is and I'm like, but it looked like it might have it. But the ingredients say, but I'm like, okay. But again, that was like a couple things. Other than that, that was my experience. When I got back home, obviously I was doing the same thing, still eating certain things that I was making, like, bean burgers and stuff like that, and fruits and all the other stuff that I was eating or whatever. But the Daniel fast was an experience. And I do plan on doing it next year. And I do plan on making a video next year. I might do it a little different next year, but that was my Daniel fast experience, y'all. Those are the choices that I chose with my food options, my temptations that I had, my trip and being around people. What else? And I actually got used to eating that way as well. So, I wasn't really missing the other food, and I like that. But I was preparing to break that fast when it came, but I did break it with some salmon and something else healthy when I first got off of it. But yeah, y'all, that's my Daniel fast experience. I wish I had more to say on it, but I can't really remember everything else that happened during the fast. So I hope this video helped y'all in some way, with options and, being tempted and God and having a daily routine of praying, of doing Bible plans, of having accountability, have friends with you while you're doing this fast. Also learning how to turn down things while you're doing the fast, and not allowing people to tempt you, and learning how to say no and everything like that, and definitely keeping God first and choosing other options outside of the food that you may have at your house if you plan to leave. Now, I'm sure it's better to be at home and not going nowhere, like out of town anywhere within the 21 days. But if you happen to go out of town, make sure that you choose healthy foods. And if you're going to go any place and they don't have those restaurants, make sure that you go to a grocery store and try to get what you can and don't let nobody tempt you. All right? That was my experience. I hope this helped y'all in some way. I love y'all. I'm going to get at y'all when I get at y'all.